women, no collaborative anything. So I had lived collaborative anything. So I had lived alone, made all these independent decisions, so there was never anybody
Right.
that I had to run anything behind, So that, I think that was the weird thing for me, is figuring out, how to do that.
My mom, she had 2 boys. We didn't really have a father figure. You go through that growing up saying either I'm gonna be like this or I'm never gonna do that. When I grow up, I wanna be the man in my house. I don't wanna be told what to do. And it was different once we got married. I'm like, okay, so it's a collaborative effort.
So culturally, as a Latin man, you don't cook. It's not. You were brought up with mom cooking. So when we got married, we came home from work, and it was so funny because I was expecting to have food ready.
We both came home and stared at each other. What's for dinner? And I said, I don't know. What's for dinner?
I asked her, I was like, have you thought about what we're gonna eat today? And she said, I haven't. And I thought, how could you not think about what we're gonna eat?
And I said, have you? He said, yes. I'm like, then you do the cooking. And so he has for 11 years now.
I just saw it as an opportunity to create. But culturally, it was a fight, because my response that day was, well, my mom's cooked her whole life. And she's like, don't you ever bring your mom up again.
It's not balanced. We're a team.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm going to lift more. Sometimes you're going to lift more.
She does so much more that I can't even catch up to everything she does that nobody sees. And so I try to always celebrate her.
And honestly, me submitting to him, but it's him submitting to me as well.
Yes, each
because
other.
we're a team.
So is there a difference between male and female? Certainly we're created equal but different. And the differences in gender are regarded in the Bible as a deliberate and good part of God's creation. However, when we try to define exactly what those differences are, it is very hard, if not impossible, to stand outside our own culture and to distinguish differences in the way we're created from differences because of our cultural expectations.
These differences between us in gender are real and are to be celebrated, as they have the potential to enhance our relationship. And importantly, we're never to use a difference as an abuse of power, particularly if one of us is physically or intellectually stronger than the other, but rather to use our differences to serve each other. That might mean if your wife is having a baby, being a great protector, or if your husband is unwell, being a great carer. In this way, you use your differences, whether in physical strength or intelligence, or your superior way with words, to help the other, rather than to subjugate, control, or abuse.
When our attitude is to serve each other, we take the initiative in some areas while we support in others. And after a while, we discover which responsibilities we're each best suited to. Now, after Nikki and I got over constantly expecting the other to organize things, we learned to operate much better as a team, and particularly through both of us working to our strengths. An example of that for us is around showing hospitality, which we both love. So when we have people in our home for a meal, we divide up the responsibilities as to what we each enjoy and what we're each best at. So I do most of the cooking because I love cooking, while Nikki likes tidying up, setting the atmosphere, laying the table, lighting candles, and generally making our home look really welcoming. Now, which responsibilities you each take on will be different for every couple and will probably change over the years, perhaps through unemployment or maybe as a result of an illness or with the arrival of children.
We'd like you to turn in your journals to the next conversation, Dividing Responsibilities, which could be the most revealing conversation you have on this whole course. It's designed to help you work out what expectations you and your partner have for the roles each of you would fulfill if and when you get married. So, be honest. First, write down up to 6 areas for which you expect to take responsibility, then up to 6 areas for which you expect your partner to take responsibility, and then up to 6 areas that you expect will be a joint responsibility. We've put some examples in the journal to help you get started. Do it on your own and then show each other what you've put.
And one tip, we suggest you write down at least as many responsibilities for yourself as you write down for your partner.